We have a closer look. This is a breaking news, and we actually have, let's take a closer look. And we would love to hear your insights. We would love for your comments to pop up, and we would love for you to be fully engaged in this discussion, because we're going to discuss something very important right now that I know a lot of you have done research about and a lot of you are very interested in, and that is what is going on in the next few days and what is the legal precedent for it and how can we help. And so our topic for today is we are going to talk about the stunning new report that was launched yesterday called the 1776 Commission Report. And we are going to talk about why the timing of this is critical and why this might have more import than you might initially realize.
That's right.
And so Leonard is going to share back and forth with me, and we are going to talk to you about some of these things. You'll also be able to find the full 1776 Commission Report on our website at c-vine.com. And also, if we get whacked and we black out, guys, and we're not on YouTube anymore, which is not improbable, please look for us on Rumble or check back on our website every evening.
You know, I'm trying to find the comments. Okay, I see Jeremy's logged on, and waiting on others.
Great. So yesterday, on January 18th, the White House finally published the President's Advisory 1776 Commission Report, which was initiated about a year ago. And when he asked for it, and he asked for a very distinguished groups of scholars and historians to come together to pull this information and to do some research, a lot of the people involved didn't truly understand what value was and know exactly what the benefits would be. But we're going to share some thoughts with you, and we look forward to your comments. Feel free to pop in. Feel free to tag anyone that you know is a patriot or a historian or is deeply vested in what happens to our country right now that might have an interest in getting some inside scoop. And we really look forward to your comments. Right. So White House historians, scholars, and experts just released this stunning report highlighting the factual history of our republic from its legal inception in 1776. Secretary of State Michael Pompeo says the 1776 Commission Report goes back to basics and takes a look at the principles behind the United States commitment to human rights internationally. So as I shared with Leonard when we were reading through the report this morning, this is similar to me, a football coach, Vince Lombardi, holding up the football to his team of pro players and saying, gentlemen, we're going to start with the basics. This is the football.
That's right. Okay, we have more patriots logging in from Texas, Iowa. It says East Coast, Indiana.
Can you say any other names? Who's with us?
Okay, so David Moser, Jeff Clark, Brenda Cohen, Robert Teal, Barb Christian Denaro from Indiana, Barbara Lamar from Texas, Sherlock from Iowa.
Look at all these curious patriots and intellectual people that want to dig deeper and take a closer look at things that could impact our history and our future. We're really glad you're all here. This is a great group.
That's right.
This is like the A-team. The new report affirms our belief that no nation should be immune from outside scrutiny of how it treats its own citizens, and that every human being is entitled to certain fundamental rights simply by virtue of being human. That our rights do not come from the government. By virtue of being human, we are entitled to certain basic rights. In recent years, China in particular has aggressively promoted a very different concept in which national priorities prevail over the basic human rights of free speech, assembly, religious freedom, reproduction, and free elections. Another set of significant threats to human freedom and dignity are, to be quite frank, the technological advances that we're experiencing in our culture right now. Drones and surveillance techniques, artificial intelligence, biotechnology, data collection, recordings of personal conversations, and theft of intellectual property. To our shame, human rights violations throughout the globe have actually been on the rise and are allegedly up 14% in China and other parts of the world. In fact, millions of women and men are suffering arbitrary imprisonment and torture, such as Uyghur Muslims and people who follow the spiritual and health practices of Falun Gong. And for our very informed listeners, I'm going to pause here for a moment and I'm going to ask a question. Do you know why Falun Gong practitioners are targeted? Leonard?
Okay, well, Falun Gong is a meditation, and they have some lifestyles that are really healthy, and they have in the CCP viewpoint, they have clean bodies. They're healthier people. They live longer. Their organs are non-polluted.
They don't smoke or drink.
That's right, and so
They do practice similar to Tai Chi, very meditative, and these people, those that practice Falun Gong, have allegedly been targeted for organ harvesting because of their superior health. Many are looking to the U.S. as a beacon of hope, fairness, and encouragement. On January 18th, the Secretary of State, Pompeo, tweeted the following.
he says, "I determine that the People's Republic of China has committed genocide and crimes against humanity. In Xishuang, China, targeting what's that word?
Uyghur.
Uyghur Muslims and members of other ethnic groups, religious minority groups. These acts are an affront to Chinese people and to civilized nations everywhere. The People's Republic of China and the CCP must be held accountable." If you go to our website right now, c-vine.com, the article is posted. You can read along with us, and in it you'll see Secretary Pompeo's actual post there.
Excellent. And any of you who follow me personally will have seen many photos and interactions as I have gone back and forth to China over the course of the last 20 years. I deeply love the Chinese people. I even have interviews online that you can view, interviewing people who have escaped from Chinese communism and who cherish the freedoms that they enjoy here in the US so deeply and are concerned about the direction that our nation is going right now. And the difference between the beautiful Chinese people and the CCP could not be more stark. The Chinese people are not the problem. The authoritarian communist CCP government is. And Secretary Pompeo has condemned and has said that they are absolutely guilty of crimes against humanity. Interesting phraseology, right, guys? So you can review the report on our website at cvine.com.
c-vine.com.
Sorry, C-dash.
Right.
I figure everyone knows at this point.
Right.
And you can also listen to the inspiring talk by the chairwoman, Mary Ann Glendon, as she talks about why this was important and several of the aspects of what they ended up including. In conclusion, I do want to read the remarks of Frederick Douglass, who I revere. And if any of you are like me, when you read this report, you're going to go, oh my gosh, that's a great quote from Alexander Hamilton. I love Alexander Hamilton. Oh my gosh, here's Frederick Douglass. Here's a great quote from Abraham Lincoln. I told Leonard when I saw the report, I said, you know what? When we go to the next chapter of our adventure and we pass on from here, these are the people I want to have the first sit down chat with. This group of illustrious patriots here who have done so much.
That's right.
For the cause of freedom.
Now you
not
talk
only
about
in the
the
US.
A-team of patriots.
That's right. They are the A-team.
That's right.
So here's the quote from Frederick Douglass that is so important. And then Leonard will read a few more of your comments. So keep them coming. We see them popping up right and left. Thank you so much for your comments. Frederick Douglass said, "The Declaration of Independence is the ring bolt to the chain of your nation's destiny. So indeed I regard it." He was so eloquent, you guys. Oh my gosh, he was one of the most articulate human beings that ever walked the face of the planet. "The principles contained in that instrument are saving principles. Stand by those principles. Be true to them on all occasions, in all places, against all foes and at whatever cost.
Right. So if you go to our website, c-vine.com, I actually uploaded the statement from the White House on this statement.
On this
1776. Yeah, right. So it's up there on PDF. But when I saw that, when I saw Delaware in a Durham boat, that was the first photograph or picture listed on the document. I found that interesting. It's a 1776 commission comprised of America's most distinguished scholars and historians, released the day that was released. It was yesterday.
Interesting timing.
That's right. It presents a definitive chronicle of America founding, a powerful description of the effect the principles of the Declaration of Independence has had on this nation history, and this positive rebuttal of calls by liberals and some media pundits for reckless re-education attempts that would seek to reframe American history around the idea that the United States is not an exceptional country, but an evil one. And so, like I said, if you go to our website, you'll see the actual document from the White House. It's listed on our website.
And this 1776 Commission report basically starts at our country's inception, 1776, and lays the foundation for our belief in the sanctity of human life and our belief that every human being has certain inalienable rights that are God-given, not government-given.
Right.
And we're setting a dangerous new precedent in some of the directions that we're going, and with the liberal calls to tear down our statues, to do away with our history, to gloss over certain things, and to not give credit where credit is due. And the good and the bad, we feel, should be reported. We have definitely made mistakes throughout the course of our country, but we have course corrected. Yes, we did participate in slavery, but to our credit, we course corrected. We have many times, at great personal sacrifice, tried to do the right thing. And the common notion that we should tear down the statue of Abraham Lincoln because he was not woke enough and because he did not do enough to help the black man when he was literally assassinated for it is ludicrous. So we're taking a closer look right now. We're going to share some of your comments. We see lots of you commenting. Leonard, would you like to share some of the comments coming in from our great viewers?
Yeah, they're just coming in from all over. Rosebud from the East Coast, actually Florida coast. Lisa from Maine. Lisa, all kinds of Lisas. Lisa Span. Let's see, just from all over.
Once again, while Leonard is browsing the comments, for any of you who have not gone into your phone settings and disabled your phone so that you can go into the general settings and disable auto updates, please do so. This is imperative if you wish to get any national broadcasts that come through. We've had credible intel that Apple and Android devices will be auto updated with a software that could prevent emergency broadcasts from coming through. So if you have not done so yet, please do that. That's critically important. Also, it's always a great idea to have extra water and canned goods and flashlights and batteries on hand, because you never know when you'll need them.
Robert Teeple says we are a constitutional republic, not a democracy, and that's very true.
Thank you. I always correct people when they say, we're a democracy. I say, about that.
Yeah.
We're actually a republic. And it's an important distinction. So as we move forward in the coming days, please take heart in knowing that there are people working behind the scenes, that there are people praying behind the scenes, and there are people who support the Constitution and love our country. And I feel comfortable saying that most of the people on this broadcast right now fall into that category.
That's
we
right.
Appreciate you so much.
And I'm just amazed at all the patriots all around the world. You have Marcia Smith from Brazil chiming in. People from, all parts of the world, Europe, UK, Australia, Lucy Lou from Texas.
If you missed our breaking news broadcast, which was about 20 minutes ago, please go back and watch it and feel free to comment. We did cover some very important things. President Trump actually signed an executive order naming January the 22nd Sanctity of Life Day. And there was a very touching statement in that. We also updated on some of the National Guard troop movement that we've seen here personally and other things that are going on live in Washington, D.C. For now, this is CVine News. I'm Valley Hart.
And I'm Leonard Bacani.
And thank you so much for joining us.